Shalom Israel. First, only of all praise and honor to Yahweh Bashmi Outside, Bashmi Kakadash. Then I want to see Apostle Oscar Millstone. He citations to 1/3 of Israel. But this lesson, I want to title it Great Humbling is Coming. And just going into, we come into a time of great judgment. And when these judgments hit, the pride on these people's faces is gonna come to naught. All right. And Lord, I'm gonna get some scriptures and hopefully it's edifying. But this is Proverbs 16 and 18. It says, "Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall." All right. Let me get this in the NLT. 16, 17. Proverbs 16 and 17. It says. Or 18, it says, "Pride goes before..." All right, let me put it in the chat. All right, it reads, "Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall." In the context of many teachings associated with GMS, this verse is usually explained as a warning against arrogance, self-exaltation, and refusing correction, especially spiritually. It says, Israelites becoming proud in America, America/Babylon, and forgetting the Most High. All right, what the scripture says, the beginning of pride is when one departed from his maker. All right, because ultimately, what keeps you in check is the fear of the Lord. The fear of the Lord. You gonna come correct, and by the fear of the Lord, you're gonna walk accordingly. But these people don't have the fear of the Lord, so therefore, they think that nothing's gonna happen to them. But that's the pride of these people. That's why they move the way they do. It's because Ecclesiastes 8:11, because sentence against evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set on them to do evil. Alright. So that's really a part of the pride that these people, or that's really why these people are so proud, is because none major has happened yet. Alright, that judgment hasn't rained down yet, but it's about to, and it's about to hit hard. Alright, that's why we come into a time like never before. All right, again, Jeremiah 30 and 6. All right, Jeremiah 30 and 6. It reads, "Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child." It says, "Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness." All right, you know what type of hell you got to be catching. You know what type of feeling you got to be feeling for, your face to wax pale. You hopeless. You going through it. All right, and in that time, you ain't gonna be proud. You gonna be very low, for lack of better words. All right, in that time, and you're gonna be looking for hope. All right, and it's gonna be too late for a lot of these people. All right, and hence why Isaiah 4:1 is written. Especially these women, because just going out and about, you just see the pride of these women. All high-minded and shit. Just because they got a quote-unquote roster and they can do whatever they want right now. But in the times to come, that shit's about to change. All right, you can talk your shit, and nothing happens right now. But just wait. All right, because judgments are coming. All right, Sirach, the 39th chapter, reads, "There be spirits that are created for vengeance." All right, so the Lord about to turn these spirits up, and there's going to be all types of calamities. You read in Amos, it says, "Wherefore, or the day of the Lord is when one escaped from a lion and a bear met him, and he escaped the bear, and he leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him." So basically, there's no escape. But it's just a matter of time. All right, 7 verses. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. All right, so we come into a time of Jacob's trouble, a day like never before. No time in history can equate to the times we're about to enter into. All right, well, we're in Jacob's trouble, but we're about to reach its climax, its pinnacle, and it's going to get very ugly. All right, and we'll see, how proud these people are, and in that time. All right, but let me go back to this chat. It says leaders, nations, or individuals thinking they are untouchable before judgment comes. All right, and that's what these people think. These people think that they're untouchable. All right, they think that nothing can stop them. But it's a different ball game. Like, for example, hunger, famines is on the way, and when an individual here in Babylon, your average Babylonian hasn't eaten in a couple hours, they're gonna lose their mind. All right, and all that flaunting yourself, all that thinking you this, and third, that shit's gonna come to naught. You're gonna be thinking about food. All right, and a lot of these people, they're gonna die by famine. All right, they're gonna have to experience, their stomach touching their back. All right, and even scriptures tell you, it's better to die by the sword than to, pine away from famine. All right, but you got individuals on this earth right now that are gonna experience famine. All right, and we just hope we not a part of that. All right, but reading on down, it says, men becoming lifted up with ego, money, status, woman, or knowledge, and then being humble. All right, and that's what Babylon produced. All right, that's the pride of life. They think that just because I make this amount of money, at my job, that we had this one patient. He says, I live in a $1.2 million house, but yet you sick. Like, why does that matter? All right, but this is Wisdom of Solomon 5, and I'll start at 7. This whole chapter's fire, but this is talking about scoffers. Those that talk shit. Those that they don't want to get right. Well, guess what? They gonna come to realization that the shit they labored for, everything they thought was important, is not gonna be important. All the well, let me just keep reading. Let me just read it. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 7. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way, but as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. And we come to a time where everyone is going to see, why it was important to serve the Lord. Now, ultimately, that's our duty as an Israelite man. Ecclesiastes, I believe it's 13 and 12. The whole duty is to fear the Lord and keep his commandments. All right, so that's what we were created to do. All right, but we live in a society where it's so anti-Mashiach, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. It's a do as thou wilt. It's a do as thou wilt society. But just know there's repercussions and there's a judgment behind living as you will. All right, and that's what these people are about to experience. And these people are proud in doing it. So therefore, these people's gotta die. All right. It says, what had pride profited us, or what had good riches with our vaunting brought us? Now, what does it mean to vaunt? Vaunt, it says, speak vainly or proudly, speak highly of, to boast, to utter empty words. All right, and that's how these people look at themselves. They exalt themselves, they boast themselves in their possessions, right? But yet, I live in this house, but yet you don't even own it. I live in this. I have this car. You don't even own it. And that's how stupid these people are. All right, you just a bunch of proud dummies. All right, that's why the Lord gotta delete these niggas. And then reading on down, it says, all those things are passed away like a shadow, and as a post that hasted by. All right, so what does it say in 1 Corinthians 7 chapter? The fashion of this world passeth away. All right, so all this shit is about to pass away. All right, because what happens when you can't drive your car? What happens when you can't, you get evicted? Then what? What do you have now? All right, so all that was dumb. All right, and taking account of King Solomon. King Solomon had everything, and he said all is vanity and vexation of spirit. So why in the world are you boasting in something that you don't even have? All right. But this is that's fire. Proverbs 29:23. A man's pride shall bring him low. All right, and that's what the Lord's about to do, is bring, the haughtiness of these people down. It says, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. All right, and one scripture that comes to mind is the meek shall inherit the earth. Meek going into lowly, humble. All right, and who's that? The elect. All right, but this is 2 Ezra 8 and 50. Oh, sorry, 49. It says, in that thou hast humbled thyself, as it becometh thee, and hast not judged thyself worthy to be much glorified among the righteous. All right, it says, for many great miseries shall be done to them in the latter time, that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. All right, great miseries is coming, and that's going to be the solution to the pride is hard times, perilous times, and you'll see how people react when they can't, get access to food, water, just basic amenities, AC, I'm hearing AC and AC. I'm hearing AZ and it's hot as hell. All right, and shit, when it's too hot, people they gonna lose their mind. All right, don't forget about that. I believe it's something like El Nino or something that's coming down the pipe. So the Lord got some judgments brewing for these motherfuckers. All right, and we just hope that we on the right side. We just hope we on the right side when all hell breaks loose. All right, but let me go to Isaiah 2 and 11. It says, the lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and the Lord Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai alone shall be exalted in that day. All right, and look how proud these people are too. You talk about the Lord, people don't want to talk about the Lord no more. And then they get all flustered and they get to talking shit. All right, but the Lord is coming to jack you niggas up. You heathens. All right, you niggas. Everyone's about to get it. All right, and Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai alone shall be exalted in that day. But the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low. All right, that's what needs to happen. That's what we're hastening for. All right, because everyone has a sense of pride, and it's terrible. God damn, I already did this shit. Slovakia. All right, but I'm gonna read Isaiah 26 and 9, one of my favorite scriptures, and I'll end it off on here. All right, this is Isaiah 26 and 9. It says, "When my soul have I desired thee in the night, yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early." All right, and that's what the hopeful elect are doing. Well, the elect, but we hope that we're probably the elect. That's what we're doing. Before all hell breaks loose, we seeking the Lord while he may be found. It says, "For when thy judgments are on the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness." So when these judgments start pouring down, that's when people are going to want to start getting right. All right, and that pride, all that ego shit, all that is going out the window. All right, especially from you women. All right, because you women, y'all like to talk y'all shit, act like your shit don't stink. But we come to a time, y'all gonna be crying, y'all gonna be pleading for a man of the Lord. And in that time, it's not gonna matter if that man of the Lord has multiple women. You just gonna be you just wanna be on that team. All right, and right now, it looks like damn, like these women ain't going for that. But just wait, especially when this social media shit, get cut off, feminism, 911, all that shit. When that shit, goes out the window, then what coverage or what protection do you women have? All right, because you got a lot of thirsty niggas out here that gonna be trying to come for y'all. All right, so you're gonna need a hedge of protection. Isaiah 32 and 2. All right, men of the Lord should be a covert from from hiding place, roughly paraphrasing. All right, let me get this one to end of. This is Sirach 10 and 18. It says, "Pride was not made for man, nor furious anger for them that are born of a woman." All right, but what's going to humble these proud individuals, or the pride of these people is these judgments. All right, so with that, hopefully it was well said and edifying. I want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem outside. Ba'ashem Kakadash. Till next time, shalom.